Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who is interested is welcome to join. When you submit in your question, please submit one at a time. Be brief and precise. If this is your first time, please let me know where you come from. How's the audio and video today? And how's everybody? I hope everybody is happy and well. I shall start reading your comment and question. Gautama Y. Sadhu. Tony Yip Sadhu. Checkling 10, greeting Tanajan. The audio and video is clear. Thank you. Kenneth Hunt. Good morning, Tanajan. You are clear. Thank you. Fanny Om. Good afternoon, Tanajan. Video and sound clear. Greetings from Medan. เมอุยสาธุ Being Sukihotu Tanyajan. Audio good. Thank you. Kenneth Tenki Bok. Greeting Ajahn. May you be well and happy. Audio and visual is good. Thank you. Hong Bi Chin. Feeling good to see monk. Well, nothing to ask today. Thank you. You're welcome. Hendrayani Sen. Namo Buddhaya Ajahn. Simoga Ajahn. Selalu. Thank you. Tony Yip. Hi Tanajan. Good afternoon. The video and audio are good, in good condition. Thank you. Kim Boon Chu. Afternoon Ajahn. Afternoon to you. Alexander Aroka. Mom, dear Bante. Thank you. Chayanit Yamada. Good morning, Prajan. Good morning to you. Liberty. I might be a little bit slow reading your comment because it keeps running up and down by itself, so I have to try to go grab it, and when I catch it, it keeps moving away again because there are so many entrants, I think, so it keeps moving up and down. I haven't had a chance to finish reading and it's gone. So I'm looking for Liberty. Okay, here it is. Ante, why exactly is Buddhism spirit split into different sections, Mahayana, Theravada, due to different interpretation of the teaching of the Buddha? So Mahayana have one type of interpretation. Usually it comes from the monks, the monk interpretation of the Buddha's precept, the Buddha code of discipline, monastic code of discipline. So some have the opinion that the Buddha said that if some of my monastic code is out of date, you can give up and you don't have to follow. So Mahayana used this excuse or this statement as an excuse to not follow some of the monastic code. Maybe it's because they have to live in a different environment. Usually they are in the northern part of the world, like Tibet and China, and so they practice slightly different monastic code from the Theravada, which is the southern school, which maintain the original monastic code as given by the Buddha. Ayi Namaskaranท่านอาจารย์ Alexander Aroka, good morning, Bante. Sound is good and the picture too. Thank you. Xiao Hishang, greeting from California toท่านอาจารย์. So happy to see you again this week. Which part of California are you from? North or south? LA or San Francisco? Or somewhere in between? EOSC, greetings,ท่านอาจารย์. Thank you for your Dhamma share, greatly appreciated. You're welcome. Deborah Rosenfeld, greeting Ajahn. Thank you so much for this Q&A. When you talk about being mindful during daily life, what should we be mindful of? Everything that the body does. Whatever the body do, keep watching the body, observing what the body is doing, and not let your mind go thinking about some other thing, like working somewhere else, meeting someone later. This kind of thought we don't want to think. We just want the mind to keep focused with the body. Watch every movement of the body. Washing the dishes or how we feel with washing the dishes. Just watch the washing of the dishes. Don't have to worry about the feelings right now. Just want to anchor the mind in one place, not to run around into the past or into the future. Want to keep the mind in the present. And you can use the body as the anchor. It's like a boat. When you want to steer the boat, you don't want the boat to be moving with the current. You have to use an anchor, or you have to tie it to a post somewhere. So this is what mindfulness is about, is to stop your mind from wandering all over the place. You want to keep the mind focused in one place, which is the body. And you don't have to think about what you do. Of course, you do have to think a little bit what you do, how to wash your dishes and so forth. But stay focused with the movement of the body. And don't go think about other things. The goal of mindfulness is to stop thinking completely. So that when you meditate, your mind can become calm, peaceful, and enter into jhana, where you find peace and happiness and equanimity. The mind becomes neutral, not reacting to any emotion, not reacting with emotion. So this is the purpose of mindfulness, to stop the mind from thinking, from wandering around about any other thing except what you anchor it to. If you anchor it to the body, just keep watching what the body is doing. Enilam, Satu, Satu. Alfie Edge, Satu. Metta Vandana, Satu. Ayi, Thanajan, in training ourselves and learning the Dhamma. And we really have to start within ourselves with all humanity, with all humility. Well, training ourselves, we use humility in order to get rid of the delusion of a self. There's no self, there's no ego. It's the delusion that keeps deceiving us to be something or somebody, when actually we are not that. So we want to get rid of this ego by practicing humility. Because in truth, there is no self. The mind is just the one who knows, who thinks. It's not a self. And by clinging to a self, it's like clinging to an illusion, which doesn't bring any profit or peace of mind. Selena Chiem, Satu Satu. Liberty Lee, thank you, Pante. Bruce Lee, Alam Saya, Namasagan, the Ajahn. Video is bright and sharp, audio is clear, thank you. Liberty Lee, the book Return to the Original Buddha Teaching, author Bhikkhu Hai Dhammavutto. I was blown away after reading it, thank you, Pante. You're welcome. Metta Vandana, Ajahn, I was reading your book Dhamma in English in 2016. You mentioned that the minds of the Buddha and his noble disciples still continue. Can you please explain? When the mind never dies or never ceases to exist, the mind always exists in the spiritual world. And when it has craving, it connects with the body, to use the body as the tool to satisfy its craving, which is the craving for sensual pleasures. The mind needs the body because the body has the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body to receive the sight, sound, smell, taste, tactile objects. But when the mind has learned that this is a losing process, ending up with dukkha, so the mind tries to stop its own cravings. Once it could finish the cravings, then the mind stops connecting to a new body. Once this body dies, then it doesn't connect to a new body. But it still exists in the spiritual world. That's what I mean. They are the minds of the Buddhas and all the noble disciples. Every mind continues to exist. The difference is if you still have cravings, this mind will keep connecting to a new body and then suffer the consequence of having a body. But with an enlightened person, he or she no longer wants to connect to a new body because he or she sees that having a body is a burden and subjected to suffering. So it stopped to connect to a new body. But it still exists in the spiritual world. Just like every mind exists in the spiritual world. An enlightened mind, fully enlightened mind, doesn't reconnect to a new body. An enlightened mind keeps reconnecting to a new body and has to keep on looking after the new body and suffer endlessly. It's what we call samsara. And the mind of the Buddha and noble disciple is considered to be in Nibbana, in the same spiritual world with a different way of existing. The noble disciple and the Buddha exist without having to have a body. An enlightened mind exists needing the body to keep it happy. Okay, I cannot read this. I'm not sure whether it's Cambodian or what. Sadhu, sadhu. Tony, hi Ajahn. Good afternoon. May you be well and happy. We have a question. And Ajahn requested me to buy him some raw eggs, and he will pay me the cost. But me promised him to buy for him by offered him as dana without collected any money from him. But I understand only can offer cooked food, but not raw food. What happened? This is requested from the Ajahn. So we did it. Is it any bad karma for me to break the Ajahn Vinaya? Hope Ajahn can advise me. Thank you so much. Well, to offer things that has no life is considered to be merit making. But to offer something that can be killed, then this can be bad karma. But as far as the monk is concerned, we don't know what he's going to do with the raw egg. If you want to look on the good side, you might think he might want to use it for some medicine or something. But if he wants to eat it, he will have to ask somebody to cook it for him. He cannot eat raw meat, like eggs or meat or fish. Meat has to be well cooked for monks. But he might want to use the raw egg for some other purpose. I don't know. You could ask him, but he asked you to buy some raw egg next time. Ask him what you want to do with them. See if you can. If he doesn't want to give you an answer, then you don't have to buy it for him. Kwan Patum Napa, Sadhu, Sadhu. Question number 2 from Ayi. I may be more able to feel when anger rises. It will be very visible when the anger slowly rises and try to suppress it. But for arrogance, sometimes I realize it too late. Sometimes the thought has arisen, and I just realize that this is arrogant. Is pride or arrogance more difficult to realize than anger? Yes, the nature of arrogance is much more subtle. You have to be a lot more scrutinizing to be able to see it. With greed and anger, this is quite obvious. But with arrogance, which is delusion, this is a bit more difficult to detect. Guatemala, Sadhu, Sadhu. God Candy, Sadhu. Hendrayani Sen. Tema Kash Ajahn Se Tela Meka Nama Ajahn. Okay, thank you. Bruce Lee Alamsaya. Question number 1. Is it an offense for a Dhamma monk to take another ordination under Mahayana and then created a new order as he wishes and then recruit new monks under his order? Thank you very much for your kind explanation. We are simple lay people who do not understand much of this kind of rule from the Buddha. Well, normally, if you are a Dhamma youth, you will continue to be a Dhamma youth for the rest of your life. If you are of other sect, you should continue with the sect that you have been ordained with. If you don't like the sect that you have been ordained with, you should disrobe and then reordain with a different sect. This is better. Then this is not causing any problem with people. People might not understand what's going on. It's like if you are an Air Force officer. If you want to be an Army officer, you have to retire from your Air Force officer and then recruit or apply for a position as an Army officer. You cannot just take your rank as an an Air Force officer and then proclaim yourself or apply yourself to be an Army officer. And this will be confusing and it will not be considered acceptable. So That's a, that's what I should say. That's what I will say. If you want to change sect, you can, but you have to give up your old sect and reordain into a new sect. First, you have to disrobe from the old sect and then reordain into a new sect. Alexander Aroka, moving house didn't happen, and what changed was my mind. It must be anicca. Yes, it is anicca. Who knows? Next week you might want to move again. Kalai Lai, Namo Amituto, Pasana Chunasevi, good morning Pajan. I still have no emotion and feel calm anywhere. Very good. Akemi, Amy Paul, Pante. Pante, in year of 2022, my late husband passed away from cancer in March. My late father passed on in May, and my late mom passes on in June. I feel lost in 2023. 22. 3 years in my life been taken away. I feel so lost. I feel lost and insecure in my journey ahead. Well, you will also have to pass away. So this is something that we all have to learn to accept. It's just part of life. The Buddha said, once being born, we are all subjected to aging, sickness, and death. So you should learn to accept the passing away of people and then continue on living until the time for you to pass away. This is the truth. This is the nature of life. Whether you like it or not, once you are born, that's what you will get. You will get old, get sick, and die. Everybody will get old, get sick, and die. Me too. I will get old. I'm old now. I will probably be sick, and then I will die. But if you have Dhamma, if you have a mind that is calm, you will not be disturbed by the passing away of your body, because you are not the body. The body is just a vehicle like an automobile. You are the driver. You use the body to take you to places. But one day the body will not be able to do so. Then you will have to exist without the body for a while until you get a new body. That means you will be reborn again. If you think that reborn it will give you death again, then you might want to stop reborn by stopping the cause of rebirth, which are your cravings, your desire. Once you have no cravings or desire, then you will not have to take any birth anymore. Question number 3, i.e., I have heard that people who commit suicide in the next life for 500 times will continue to commit suicide. Is that true? How to stop this? Yes, it will become a habit to solve your problem. The reason why people kill themselves is because they think this will solve the problem, the suffering. But they don't know that once they return, once they're reborn and return and face the same old problem, then they will solve their old problem the same way. If they used to kill themselves to get rid of the suffering, they will continue to do so for as long as until they change their way of solving the problem. How to stop this? You need the Dhamma, teaching of the Buddha, to know the cause of your suffering is from your cravings, and then learn to use the tool to stop your craving, which is the practice of meditation and wisdom. Once you have meditation and wisdom, you can stop your suffering without having to kill yourself. Then you will not have to reborn and come back and kill yourself for 500 lifetimes. Yulin Go, Sadhu, Sadhu. Question number 2 from Rusli Alamsaya. Would it be an offense when people put some stones into the ashes of the teacher and proclaim the teacher has relics? That would be just lying, that's all. It's not good to proclaim something that which is not true. misleading, deceiving people is a bad karma. Well, it is not the first time happened, but some who has ability can see false relics, and some has questioned their motives. Whether it is a lie to have more fame, followers, and dana fund. Thank you very much for your kind wisdom on this matter. Yes, if you are a monk and you do something like this, you are committing the cardinal sin, one of the four cardinal sins of the monks, which is proclaiming something that is not true, like proclaiming that you have become enlightened, and when actually you haven't yet become enlightened. Akemi Amy Paul, Pante from you. From young, I always scared to be alone. Till now, at age of 50, I still scared to be alone at home. How can I get rid of being scared? Although I chant Buddha in my heart, always put my mind still, scared when alone at home. You have to practice meditation. Using the mantra Buddha, sit down and recite Buddha Buddha for a long time until your mind becomes quiet and still. Then your fear of loneliness will disappear, and you will like being alone more than being with people, because being alone, when your mind becomes still, makes you very happy. And when you meet people, this happiness can disappear. So practice meditation until your mind becomes calm. Then your fear of loneliness will be gone. Question number 4 from Ayi. Can deceased parents or ancestors protect their living relatives? No. No one can protect yourself but your own self, the Buddha says. You are your own refuge. You are your own protector. So don't expect to have anybody to come and protect you. Even the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha cannot protect you. They can only teach you how to protect yourself. From Concord, near San Francisco, Shio Chang. Yes, I know this monastery. I think I once have their website. I think they took some of my teaching and posted it on their website a long time ago. Chio Chang from Concord near San Francisco. And Ajahn, my mind got the tendency to think a lot. That's why the concentration could not go deep. Do you have any advice for this issue? I have been doing breathing meditation for a couple of years now. You have to train yourself in mindfulness all the time, from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep, by focusing on your body movement. Keep watching what your body is doing. Every action of the body your mind should not go away from it. Your mind should keep watching every movement, every second of the movement of the body. Then your mind will not be thinking, and your mind can be calm, peaceful, and happy. When you meditate, your mind will become calm very quickly and easily. Sun Hoi Cha, Satu Satu, Iva Chakma Satu, Mandalashi. Thanks for Ajahn Sunday teaching. We like, and because we can know the correct way to practice. You're welcome. Chi Chin Chuan, dear Ajahn, can Arahant still have sense of humor, sadness, and anger? I don't know. I don't want to go into this because it can be misleading. Whatever an Arahant do, he doesn't do it with real emotion. He can do it with fake emotion. He can fake his anger, fake his sadness, or fake his humor. So it's not easy to to understand the nature of an arahant until you become one yourself. Eli Hassan, good day teacher, audio and video clear. Ajahn, when already sat and started, suddenly remember something need to be done immediately. Better keep to meditating and do it after or stop meditate. Go back to accomplish the delay and back. It depends on how important it is. If you forgot to turn off the gas or something and it might cause gas explosion in your house, then maybe you have to stop meditating first. But if it's something minor, doesn't really cause any damage or danger, then you can just forget about it and continue with your meditation practice. And next time, before you start meditating, make sure that you have done everything that you have to do first, so that when you meditate, then you won't have to be distracted by whatever you haven't done. Question number 5 from Ai. If our deceased parents have attained sainthood but have not yet attained arahantship, is it possible to guide his relatives who are still alive? What about the arahant can guide his relatives? Well, noble disciple with psychic power can guide those who are born in the spiritual realm, like devas. Like the Buddha guided his mother, who was born as a deva, until she became a Sotapanna. But he cannot connect with human being who doesn't have any psychic power. If a human has a psychic power, then he might be able to connect with an arahant who has psychic power, who passed away or who's still alive. But it would be better, or if both are still alive, that they should meet physically than spiritually. Alexander Aroka, I had an insight, and after that I don't exist anymore. The world doesn't exist. You and I no longer exist. What exists is the truth between us. There were tears and sadness and joy, but the two feelings happened at the same time. From then on, I had the experience of being one being in our heart, or being a one being, one heart. This is the nature, this is Dhamma, which is the basis for everything. What's Sera, because it is concept, does not exist either, and in its place in the rose. That is it. No more concept, just the middle path, and I don't need to think. The path emerges by itself. Okay? I give you. The goal is not so much about what you realize. The goal is how to get rid of your dukkha. Once there is no dukkha, then it really doesn't matter what you experience or see. Just get rid of dukkha in your mind. That's all you have to do. As far as other things, they are not relevant. Adeline Chin, good afternoon, Ajahn. Nabiti, Namaskar, Ajahn. Akemi Amy, Paul, thank you, Pante, Satu. Nabiti, Namaskar, Ajahn. James Song, greeting Ajahn. Alvin Lee Wei-Peng, greeting Ajahn, Satu, Satu. Christine Shu, Namo Buddhaya Ajahn. Supha Barua, Satu, Satu. Xiao He Chang, thank you, Ajahn. You're welcome. Lee Sin Wong, Satu. Deborah Rosenfeld, how can lay people who have busy, stressful life with constant demands make progress on the Buddhist path, rather than just feeling like treating water, Satu? Well, you have to slow down, reduce your workload, so that you will have some free time to do the practice. So you have to learn to live a more simple life. Spend less, so don't have to earn a lot of money. When you spend less, then you don't need to work as hard as when you spend more. Try to live a frugal life if you can, austere life. Just have enough just for cause existence. Then you will have more time to do the practice. Otherwise, you cannot have both. You cannot have your cake and eat it too. So you have to cut down your cake into half, and then you will have half of your time for doing more meditation practice. Otherwise, if you continue on with your normal life, your normal way of life, you will never have the time to do the practice seriously. Ivan Cam, Namo Buddhaya Ajahn. Question number 3 from Bruce Lee. Dear Ajahn, do you have any ideas on how to teach our children to be good with their parents, to appreciate us as parents according to the teaching of the Buddha? Sometimes it is difficult to tell children to treat us nice. Thank you very much. You have to teach them by example. You have to show them yourself that you respect your parents. If you show your respect to your own parents, then when they see this, they will imitate you. They will follow the way you do things. Teaching by action is much more effective than teaching by words. So whatever you do, if your children see it, they will imitate. They will follow what you do. If you don't do it, then they don't have no example to follow. Sometimes there are things that you cannot teach by words because they can be backfire. They would not like to hear. But if you show your gratitude to your parents and they see it, then they will learn that way better. Learn it, teach in a subtle way, not in a direct way. Sometimes teaching directly can be unwelcome. So you have to teach them in a much more subtle way by doing it yourself. Once you do it yourself, then they can see the good example that you do, and they would eventually follow what you do. Akemi Amy Paul. Pante, I go Dhamma class every Sunday for almost 2 years. But some friends say we must have a teacher in meditation. Must it be a monk? And meditation, must it be temple? We must have monks. How can it approach monks to be my teacher? No, you don't need to have a monk as a teacher. But it's good if the monk is good in meditation. It doesn't matter who you as your teacher if the person can teach you the things that you want to learn. If you want to meditate, you have to find someone who has good experience in meditation, who know how to meditate. Can be a monk, can be a layman, doesn't matter. As long as you can learn the way of meditation. And when you meditate, you don't need to have somebody to meditate with you. You can meditate alone. You can meditate at home, or you can go to the temple. It depends on what you want to do. Sometimes the temple can be more peaceful than at home, but sometimes the temple can be more active or can be more distracting than at home. So an ideal place to meditate is a quiet environment without any distraction. It can be in your home, it can be in a temple. Ivan can a Buddhist open a restaurant, seafood, meat, etc. business? Yes, so long as you don't kill the meat to sell yourself or order somebody to kill for you. You can just go to the market and buy meat that has already been killed by someone, and you had nothing to do with that killing, such as telling them ahead of time if you go to the market today and tell the man in the market that you want some meat tomorrow, then you cannot do this. You just have to go look today and buy whatever you can get today. But you cannot tell the merchant to kill the meat for you. Yes, you can open restaurant. Buddhists can open restaurant. But just make sure that you don't have nothing to do with the killing of the animal for their meat. C.G. Lim, good afternoon.ท่านอาจารย์ Sadhu for the Dhamma teaching. Much appreciated. May Ajahn stay well and healthy for as long as possible. You're welcome. Thank you. Bruce Lee Alam Saya, question number 4. Did the Buddha teach lay people to treat their parents as their first arahant? Yes. Our father and mother are the creator of this body who will allow us to listen, learn, and enable higher state of happiness. Thank you very much, dear Ajahn. You're welcome. We must always be grateful to our parents for giving us this body, so we can use this body for improving our lives, both physically and mentally. Without this body, we cannot do anything. So we have to look after our parents very well. Make sure that they live as good as you live. Question number 6 from IE. When a child neglects his parent and causes his parent to get sick and die, does it into the category of having killed a parent? No. It's just considered to be maybe secondary action, not directly, but maybe indirectly. Maybe the parents could have died from some other cause. Who knows? Because the parent will get sick and die anyway, regardless of whether a child neglects them or not. Christine Coe,ท่านอาจารย์, tomorrow I'm coming to pay respect to you. I hope in the morning, 9:30 at the dining hall. I'll be available then. Oh no, I'm sorry, not tomorrow. Tomorrow you have to see me in the afternoon. I give Dhamma talk at my kuti at 2:00, and I can receive your offerings and talk to you at about 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Ivan came. Anumodana Bhante. Thank you, said Sadhu. You're welcome. Boy, there's a lot of questions in one go. 44 minutes. Okay, next. Aroka. Alexander Aroka. Yes, that's true. Thanks, Ajahn. But after the insight happened, the suffering only appears in my dream while I sleep. Today I had this in my dream. Chaotic memories driven by kilesa resulting in suffering. So I told myself it was a dream and woke up. My job now is to clear my memory, and because unpleasant situations in my waking life no longer come up with frequency or strong intensity, I'm very grateful and happy for the life I am living. Just make sure that you have no dukkha or suffering. That's the goal of our practice, not to know so many things. Everything that we know can be considered secondary. what we need to know is how to get rid of our dukkha, our suffering. That's its principal knowledge. That's all. Samante Sadhu Sadhu. Ayi, thank you very much, Tan Ajahn, for your teaching. You're welcome. Christine Koe, okay, see you 3 p.m. Thanks, dear Tan Ajahn. You are welcome. Ayi Namaskaran, Tan Ajahn. Shio Heshan, Tan Ajahn, does one's concentration practice improvement have anything to do with one's temperature? Can Tan Ajahn clarify this issue a little bit? I'm not sure what do you mean by one's temperature. I cannot understand this question, I'm sorry. You mean your body temperature or the surrounding temperature? Actually, nothing can improve or not improve your concentration practice except your determination and the practice itself that will improve your concentration. Ivan Cam, still about the restaurant business. Isn't it that other forms of business also have a role in killing even indirectly? Well, we're not so concerned about that. Every action somehow, somewhere will cause death somewhere. You build an automobile, you will also cause death because there will be an automobile accident. You build roads, you will cause cars that drive on the road causing accident, causing people killing. This is not considered to be bad karma. As long as you have no intention and have directly act directly to have that intention fulfilled, then it's not considered to be bad karma. You have to have the intention and you have to have the action that caused the damage. And this is bad karma. Because if you think that thing can cause people dying, like building airplanes, plane will crash, building automobiles, automobile will crash, building boat will sink, then it's better not to do anything. Just sit and meditate. But you still have to eat. So what do you do? So just keep the 5 precepts. Yeah, just stick to the 5 precepts. And to make your bad karma considered bad karma, you have to first have the intention. Second, you have to have the action. Third, you have to have the completion of your action, which causing the damage. And you have to have the damage caused by your action. So if these 3 things, then this is considered to be bad karma. Bruce Lee Alamsaya, thank you very much for your kind wisdom today, dear Ajahn. You're welcome. Eli Hassan, Ajahn, my friend with cancer, not being advised to calm down and accept, also of how to face his illness, has passed away 2 days ago. Wish him well, wish his spirit go to heaven. Akemi Emipo. Thank you, Ajahn, for your valuable sharing and teaching. You're welcome. Ivan Cam, our existence as human can also live because there are other creatures that die. I don't know what you mean. Xiao Hishang. I am sorry, it was the typo. Should be temperament. And Ajahn, like somebody should do Bhutto, while others should do breathing, meditation, for example, or the concentration to develop. Yes, each person might have different preference for their meditation object. Some people like Bhutto, some people like watching the breath. So you have to find out which is more suitable for you by trial and error. Alexander Aroka, thank you, Ajahn. You get rid of that word suffering. You might be able to get rid of the word, but you might not be able to get rid of the thing itself. So it's not the word that counts, it's the thing that counts. Get rid of the suffering, not the word suffering. We can erase the word suffering, but we cannot erase suffering from the mind without the practice of wisdom and meditation. Metta Vandana, can Ajahn explain how to do 16 steps of Anapanasati if one is using Bhutto as an object? Well, if you use Bhutto, then you don't have to worry about the 16 steps of Anapanasati. Just keep focusing on your mantra only. And then when it's time for the mind to become calm, it will just happen right there and then. So don't worry about the 16 steps when you do Bhutto. Just worry about reciting Bhutto only. And don't be distracted by any other thing. Just keep focusing on your word, Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Akemi Emipo, Ajahn. When we praise 8 direction daily, will the Deva and Devi protect us? No. No one can protect you but yourself. J. Chutasama Satu Satu. Chi Chin Chuan. Dear Ajahn, if I can only focus for 10 minutes meditation, do I just continue to sit in silence and force myself to chant until 1 or 2 hours? The longer you can sit, the better. The longer you can meditate, the better. Even though you might not have achieved your result, at least you are not doing something else. The purpose is to still your mind, still your body action, to stop action, because your action usually is more damaging than beneficial. So when you're not doing any action, you then can reduce the amount of damage done to you by your own action. Christine Coe, tomorrow 2 p.m. Is it Thai Dhamma talk? Yes, it's always in Thai Dhamma talk. But at 3 p.m., if you have any question, you can ask in English. Metta Vandana, thank you, Ajahn. Kim Mechua, Satu Satu. Okay, we have about 4 minutes left before I have to close this meeting. So if you are typing your question, you can continue typing. But if you haven't started typing, I think you should wait until next time because I won't have time to answer your question. Alexander Aroka, okay, I will keep working more hard on Dhamma path. Dig in it out. Thanks, you're welcome. Chi Jilin Satu Satu, Nam Lin Satu. Akemi Amy Paul, may everyone will be well, happy and peaceful. Alexander Shenyani, I'm sorry, I cannot ask you. Shen something, Shenish Yi, Satu Satu, Sini Jira, Chiao Hishang, thank you, Tanajan, Se Hui, Satu, Amy Lim, Eni Lam, Satu Satu. Shi Chin Chun, goodbye and good day, Ajahn. Thank you. Okay, I think that's about it for today. Thank you for your participation in this today's Q&A meeting. I hope that you have learned something and can use it to advance it in your practice. In the meantime, please stay healthy, stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.